What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tardy to the Party, aka T3P, where this dynamic duo is going to talk a little bit of Invincible today. Season 2, Episode 3. What?
That's not DC, Marvel, or Star Wars.
Oh, the Holy Trinity's and shits right now.
Oh no.
Let's Amazon's putting some bangers out. Let's go with that.
Y'all didn't like them. Y'all didn't even go watch the Marvels, apparently. So
Yeah, we can see that in the anime.
yeah.
Yikes. But season 2, Episode 3.
But thank you, viewers, for watching our Loki review on the finale. Sorry, had to get it in.
But one thing that has been going strong, even since Season 1 and continuing on in Season 2, while we felt Episode 2 dipped a little bit in Season 2, I personally at least feel Episode 3 came back on and grabbed the reins real strong that we're on. Non-spoiler thoughts, KP.
Episode 3, Season 2. I liked it a lot because it gave us like a different little side story that still built to, I think, what the like a one overall plot point for this series kind of is gonna have. Not necessarily like the plot point of this season and like what are we doing this season, but this episode just kind of like touched on, hey, this is what's going on out here. This is this looming threat. Here's what's kind of going on with that threat. So I thought this episode was very, very good in that regard. It kind of got back to a question that you may have had when you left season 1 of like, well, what's the future hold? And like now I think we're kind of starting that seed of like, again, this is like more, I think, series related, like entire series related instead of just a single plot point in the season. But we won't know for sure until we finally get more of the show. Unless you've read the graphic novels, which I think he and I have said many times that we have never read these graphic novels and we don't plan to, so it stays fresh for us. So we can have more honest reactions to the content.
More honest theories.
Yes.
I agree with everything you said there. I think to piggyback off that, I like that this episode finally deals with more of the fallout of the ending of season 1 and kind of the repercussions that have had on definitely 2 of our prominent characters in this series and what they've had to deal with since that fallout. Mm-hmm. And they have to come face to face with those things in different ways in this episode, which I think, piggybacking off our season 2 episode 2 review, we were a little bit low on it, but I did feel like it set up future threads in the season, and I felt like some of those threads definitely get picked up in this episode, and I feel like are paid off in a great way. I really, really like this. Mm-hmm. Great. I don't know which one's my favorite yet between episode 1 and 3 so far this season. It's pretty close. But a banger. I really enjoyed it. They did something that I thought was a little questionable at first, and then as things went along, I was like, okay, I like this. I like the experimental stuff they do with certain things. Yeah, highly recommend. I mean, it's a great season so far.
Yeah.
But let's get into those juicy spoilers.
Yeah, let's get into what you're talking about.
So we have what seems to be what I would guess is about like a 3-month time skip, because we went from graduation to move-in day all of a sudden for Mark at college. So
I didn't even think of that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so a little bit of time has passed here. But
summer's over.
Yep, so we just fuck summer. I don't care about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But Debbie's dropping Mark off at college. Debbie, after Mark heads off, she's in the car about to take off. She looks at the SOS card that
Oh shit!
I am blanking on her.
Olga?
Olga, that's it. I think you're right. Olga left
Olga,
her.
maybe? Yeah.
It's definitely something
Last
close
episode.
to that. Calls the number. No last names. We don't say last names here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, no last names. Yeah.
So then it cuts back to the dorm room with him and his buddy, best friend. We go through the sock rule of college. I liked the Magnum Pie poster that was on one side of the dorm. And then we had, I put Doctor Strange Dog, but actually,
Dude, right?
Doctor Seance. No, Seance Dog. Seance Dog is his name.
Sans dog. Dude, it did look like Doctor Strange.
Like straight up, just looked like Doctor Strange Dog.
Yeah.
It's Amber and Mark are still dating. Because he goes to grab his toys, throws them away, keeps the Seance Dog action figures because I feel so bad.
Right.
I was like, no, your collectibles, no. It's like me throwing that stuff, no.
Right, yeah.
But he keeps Seance Dog. When he comes back, the sock is still on the doorknob. So he's like, really? Sex on the first day of college? It goes to Amber's dorm, and then it's like, oh, what's wrong with that?
What?
So it's like, Amber and Mark lay the pipe.
Then Mark gets to have sex on the first day of college. Yeah!
Have some good banter, I would say, I would assume some normal person if they were about to indulge in that with a superhuman being. Pretty safe questions. But when they start to get into it,
she was just wondering if he was gonna Hancock her. You know, we've all seen that movie. He busts so hard he blows the roof off. You know, I mean, like that's all she needed to know. Like, hey, it's not like, are you gonna kill me here? And that's all she needed to know. He's like, no, I'm pretty sure not. And not a geyser over deep space.
So yeah, we get a weird narration
across the galaxy.
We get a
I
weird
am calling
narration.
all Autobots to fight the Viltrumite threat.
Optimus Prime is
I'm
here.
Optimus Prime.
Yeah, the narration cut from when they were...
God, yes.
The narration cut I thought was really, really odd. Like, it felt really out of place when they were initially going.
It was
I was
so
like, what the
weird.
fuck is going on here?
And then fucking just, like I said, the joke I just made, for those of you, like, it's Peter Cullen, and I'm sorry, like, dude... No, you can't ever do anything else, because every fucking time, like you didn't even try to change your voice. It was Optimus Prime. I was like, motherfucker.
I'm not even a Transformers fan, and I immediately recognize that voice. I was like, Optimus?
Exactly. You know exactly what it is, and the fact too, it's like the whole point of like he's talking about fucking people that are trying to take over the universe. I'm like, okay, Optimus. Autobots, roll out. Oh, sorry. Alan the alien, roll out. Alan the alien. Sorry. I'm getting ahead.
What's their names called? Like Inopens or something like that? Inopens? I think something like that. But we get the backstory of Alan the alien and how he's a bred superhero to protect the Enopans. I think that's her name. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think that's their name.
From the Viltrumites attack. During the attack scene of the flashback, it almost looked like one of them was a young omni-man. I don't know if that's actually him or if it's just another mustached fellow.
I didn't catch that, but that's interesting.
So I don't know. It could just be a coincidence, but Alan, they give the whole backstory to Alan, which I didn't completely write down because, well,
Alan's got their DNA, but they basically made him they genetically advanced him to have super strength and all this shit, and all this shit, but like so he could fight Viltrumites, but lo and behold, of course, like they can't. That's the whole thing. It's like you can't make Superman. He can only just exist. So
Oh, and Seth Rogen does reprise the role as.
yeah, yeah, and
But
it was pretty good because
we,
like,
we meet
why
his
couldn't they
love
just say,
interest.
yeah, he's like yeah. God, what's the episode?
It's
Sorry.
I love the experiments that that they did here with because I think after they explained his backstory and how he's created, that's when they did the title card, right? Where they were like Alan the
Yes,
alien, like
Alan the
Invincible.
alien. Yes,
I
Alan
thought
the
was a nice
alien.
touch. Cut back to him talking to his love interest, and then, well, oh wait, no. Before that, he talks to Optimus, and this is the only part I don't really understand about this episode. Is Optimus mentions how there's a mole, and that
Yeah,
someone's talking to the Viltrumites, and
right.
then it cuts to him talking to his love interest. I can't remember what they were talking about. I'm not gonna lie to you. But all of a sudden, Viltrumites show up. He goes out to meet with them and talk to them. They ask about the Viltrumite on Earth and if he abandoned his post, such and such. Alan
And
basically
and
just
if
plays.
he's sired an heir, and then Alan
Yep.
he just like Alan, I guess since he wants to protect Mark, he believes to just keep his mouth shut about it all, and like makes a self-sacrifice, which was very heroic, but very, I mean, odd.
I like the line of when they were asking about it. He was like, "Oh, I don't know. You Biclops all look the same to me."
Right, yeah. Yeah. Because
But
I don't know,
yeah,
you Biclops look all the same to me. Yeah.
dude, the fight was, well, I don't know if you can really call it a fight, but brutal as fuck. They did our boy
Right.
Alan dirty. Dude, I was like,
Oh yeah.
I was like panicking this fight. I was like, no, come on, Alan, fight back, fight back. And then when they punched his eyeball out, dude, I was like, like they like chop his arm off, slam him with his arm, and then they freaking gut punch him through. And I'm just like, oh yeah, he's fucking dead. But miraculously, he somehow
Well,
has a
yeah.
heartbeat.
Yeah.
In the hospital bed, his girlfriend is by his side. Optimus Prime comes in, tells her to go get some rest, and that the will of the eye opens is strong. How he's able to survive, and then
But then he just,
as soon as you see the stupid fucking meter, I'm like, oh, yep, he's the fucker. And it's just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
but to me, it's just like, why on earth, if he was the mole, why did he even bring it up in the first place that there was one? I don't understand that. Why? Like, why? I feel like that was just a poor
Great
writing
point.
choice to make it seem like it potentially was the girlfriend because she was kind of the only other suspect, really, that was prominent in this episode. So it was only between them two. Like, they were the only two that could have been it that we were introduced to, unless it was somebody from out of nowhere in left field. I
I
just thought it
don't
was
think so.
really odd
No,
choice.
it was weird.
But
It was weird.
I did like how after he does kill him, it just cuts to the credits like it's the end of the episode.
And then I didn't even pull the timer up. I just sat there and I was like, well, that was really short. That can't be it. And then thankfully it's like a joke, and then they go back to Mark on Earth. And then I think there's like another 20 minutes that play out. And I was like, well, thank God for this.
Yeah, I was a little.
Yeah.
It got me for a second. I was like, that was way too short. And then you hear like
Right,
I think some
yeah.
like clinking in the background, and I was like, oh. I
Yeah.
think it literally gets like 2 or 3 credits in, and it cuts back. But oh wait, sorry, wrong page of notes. These are not the. But we cut to the team of Guardians, and we basically get more back information on Duplicate and Immortal's relationship and why they are so drawn to each other now because they have both died multiple times. I thought that was an interesting layer. And honestly, Rex, you kind of got what came. Cheated on Eve.
Right.
Karma's a bitch, huh?
Dude, that was, oh my god. And I love the choice they have for Rex's voice actor.
Oh, I
And
know, he's great. Ralphie.
yeah, he's so great. Yeah, Ralphie. I just loved too. She's like, "You cheated on Eve with me. That's how our relationship happened." He goes, "Yeah, that was then."
And you benefited from it.
yeah. That was the best. Like that's just it's such the most hilarious. Like you would expect that childish of an argument, and like he's like, "Yeah, well, but wait, you benefited from that. Who cares?" Yeah. That's like the only way he can see it. It's so funny.
I
Oh
did like
shit,
the moment
excuse me.
where
Whew.
Shapeshifter comes in or whatever. Comes in and he's like, I've come in here to use the stationary treadmill, and he just jumps on it backwards and legit it's not even on, he just like runs in place.
He's like, I've come in here to run and play to use a stationary device that helps me run in place. And they're like, yeah, you can use the treadmills over there. And then yeah, he gets on it and he's like running in place. And I think Rex says again, like, okay, seriously, where are you from? Or something like that. Like he's like the only one that's like picking up on how like there's something off about this guy.
Which is odd
So
that he's the one of all people to actually pick up on it.
yeah,
I
the
still
rest
don't
of them,
understand why they just let him in the Guardians.
I was
I
gonna
just
say, like
don't
you
get
said, the rest of them are just oddly blowing it off. Doesn't make any sense.
We
Yeah.
cut to Rudy, who is basically trying to get rid of his fear.
Yes.
But
Asks Monster Girl out on the date. It's very adorable.
they go to the movies. Monster Girl pays some random
Oh
lady
yeah, that's
to
right.
be her mom. Allowed him to go in the R-rated movie. Rudy, it's more at his backstory, which we've gotten a decent amount of, but that is, we're already seeing a horror movie. Like, you don't need to know about my childhood. Yeah, I thought it was a cute little date between them. I was a little worried in the beginning. I was like, I don't know. I'm worried my boy's gonna get hurt. She didn't. I don't think it was a
What?
date. I think it was a friend date. I don't know if this was.
Oh.
I
Oh
think my boy's
no.
gonna get hurt. But we'll find out.
Maybe.
But Debbie ends up going to, well, the card she called is actually a support group for what seems to be spouses of superheroes that have died or
Right.
gone missing. I would
Or
presume.
like, yeah, gone missing something, whatever, yeah.
But
yeah.
no last names, which we find out later. There's a good reason for that. But after the meeting, gentleman asks her to go to the bar for after drinks. They seem to get along decently well. They seem to understand each other's grievances and everything with what they've all been through. And but kind of the gentleman lets it slip that he gets a little personal and mentions that Green Ghost was his wife.
Right.
And then obviously that makes Debbie panic because Omni-Man killed Green Ghost.
Right. She doesn't know how to feel, and yeah, she's like kind of like also wrapped up in even her own feelings. So
yeah, I think this was a great episode for Debbie and her arc, and even when she comes back, she leaves temporarily because obviously that's a big bomb to kind of get dropped on you, especially on somebody that you just met. But when she comes back, or actually no, she catches him or he catches her trying to leave, I think, if I remember right. But she basically confesses that like she never has really been allowed a chance to grieve because, well, I can't remember if she knows Omni-Man's not dead or it almost seemed like she already knew
knows
that
that he's
Omni-Man
not
wasn't.
dead.
Okay.
Yeah, they all know that he's not dead. They know he just flew off in space somewhere, and like That's what she said. She's like, I can't even grieve because like he didn't die. He just left. And she's like, again, the whole like I was a pet to him and he lied to me like my whole life and he never actually felt anything, and so she's like caught up in her own anger, and then she then lets it slip to him that she's like, yeah, I was Omni-Man's wife, and then basically he just kind of can only biasly see his side of it about Green Ghost, and he's like, yeah, don't come back to the group. He's like, it would be wise for you to stay away.
Wouldn't be safe.
Which probably indicates that like all the spouses that are there at that group are probably surviving spouses of like that hero team that Omni-Man like fucking slaughtered. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then everyone else he would have killed. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably a good call.
Yeah.
So in the end, he was actually doing her a favor.
He was.
But we cut back to the dorm, and Seance Dog, what seems to be an actual Seance Dog, the real Seance Dog, appears at Mark's dorm. But Mark ain't buying it because he knows Seance Dog ain't a real character. It's just a fake comic character. This is like if Martian Manhunter showed up at my doorstep. It ain't real. Mars is real.
Mars is real.
Never mind. Side note. But Mark basically immediately takes him out and cornfield, right? Just basically takes him out in the middle of nowhere. Asks him,
throws him out into the woods. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically interrogates him, asks him who he is. I know you're not real. We learned this is a shape-shifting alien that looks kind of like a praying mantis type thing.
It's another shape-shifting alien.
So now this alien is claiming that their planet is under attack by meteor showers. Please, Mark, we need your help. Mark agrees to go despite
Cecil's telling him don't go, and he's like, yeah, I'm out of here, bro.
Yeah,
Stop me.
I'm trying to save as much lives as I can. Quit fucking acting like, make me feel like shit. Make me think I'm like my dad because I'm disobeying yours. I'm saving lives, bitch.
Right.
What are you doing besides just teleporting everywhere? But
exactly.
He shows up on the hover plane or whatever you want to call it outside of Amber's house to say goodbye over the phone. Seems they've worked things out as far as him just going off and doing his hero deeds as long as he's upfront about it and lets her know ahead of time. Right before they take off, he goes to tell her that he loves her, but the call disconnects far away at that point. Magic boy.
Yes.
So they go to this. If they said the name of the planet, I didn't catch it. But they show there. It looks beautiful, gorgeous. Doesn't look like anything's wrong there. Mark's asking, why does this place look so well kept? Where's the meteor showers? This alien slips up. What meteor showers? Oh, talk to the Monarch about this. And of course,
it's like, sorry, we doesn't he say something outrageous like, oh, we age far faster than humans. Some of us develop early Alzheimer's or something. like some shit like that. It's like.
But Mark goes to meet this Monarch, and of course, who is the Monarch? Our boy, Nolan, a.k.a. Omni-Man, in some new garb. Probably to hide the O on his chest, because it looks like his suit's still kind of under. But
looks like it.
Our boy has taken command of another planet.
Well,
I thought this was
hiding.
I thought this was a banger of an episode. And I'm so excited that Nolan is back. I've been missing him.
Yeah. I think the next episode is gonna pick right up with I feel like Nolan is gonna tell Mark about like these other Viltrumites that are gonna be like looking for him. The ones that killed Alan. Like I feel like that's why we got both of these stories. Because it's feeding to that overall plot, I think, of like, well, the Viltrumites are still going to eventually want to come and conquer. Maybe.
Yeah, it could be another.
It's just something.
It could be another way of Nolan also in a different way, kind of a more desperate attempt to get Mark on his side too, in a way. You know,
Right.
I'm vulnerable now, Mark. I have all these Viltrumites coming for me. I need your help. Like, I am your father. Like, I don't know. I feel like it
Because
could
they
be one
did,
last chance to try to guilt him into joining him.
because they did touch on it in the arc about Alan with Alan when Alan was explaining to everyone, like, you know, hey, like the Viltrumite on Earth actually had a kid with an Earthling, and they're like, wait, they don't ever do that, and you know, so it seems like Nolan slash Omni-Man has kind of went off the you know traditions of his race, and maybe there's some Viltrumites that are like not happy about it. So yeah,
Yeah,
especially the whole part.
I agree. I think they
Yeah,
definitely laid the seeds for Viltrumites coming after Nolan or both
both.
him
Yeah,
and Invincibles. Things could get real juicy and spicy, which could lead. I mean, that could be why we have all this multiverse stuff. I mean, I don't know if
could be.
they're gonna have to go and get the aid of other marks or maybe just other members of the team.
Yeah,
Maybe you bring Alan back just from a different dimension.
maybe, maybe. I feel like eventually too, it's gotta like there's got to be like some weakness the Viltrumites have. Like I don't know, like because even in like that's the thing. It's like even in DC, like Superman still has weaknesses. Kryptonians still have some weaknesses, man. You can't just have an antagonist that's like Homelander. Well, I guess shit. Then I guess you can have an antagonist like that. No. If you watch Gen V, yeah. Anyways, yeah. But no. Yeah, I very much enjoyed this one a hell of a lot more than the last one, and yeah, just it made a whole lot of collective sense.
Yeah, and it seems like despite our well, we're not super harsh on episode 2, but despite it being a little bit of a lull, it hopefully is a nice catapult to the rest of the season. Seems like we're hitting the ground running now. Like I think a lot of good arcs with especially with Debbie and Mark. We still got more payoffs with the Guardians and what's going on with them. Um, I really like the trajectory this season's going, and we still have a lot of unanswered questions still too. I guess that is maybe
Hmm.
slightly the scary part is they are kind of throwing a lot at us this season. Um, this is my
Yeah, it'll be fine.
brutality.
This is okay.
What's your rating, KP? What are you giving it?
I'm gonna go pretty high. I think 8.5 for me. I really, really enjoyed this one. I liked how it was like kind of we got a different like story that was actually important to the overall narrative, and it was just kind of cool to get something different. Always loved me some Optimus Prime. Um, so there's that, and then yeah, then the other half of the story was just very interesting with Mark and just choosing to go off planet and go into space. Just yeah, sure, why not, man? And just follows a bug out there, and thank God, like you know, it's like his dad. It's like Jesus Christ, like I don't
Stupid
know,
boy.
like stupid boy.
uh,
Um,
I
yeah,
I think I'm gonna. I actually think I agree with you. 8.5.
yeah.
We'll make it a clean number
I
this
like
week for you,
I
KP.
kind of like I kind of love and hate the whole. Like at least Debbie's plot line is kind of like a little more touched on, but like the stuff going on with the Guardians is like it just feels like all they're doing is just sprinkling it in each episode, and I'm like, I don't know, but it'll pay off. And usually it's very funny because of Rex's character, so I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting on that payoff, but otherwise, I thought this one was really really good. So that's what I'm gonna stick with.
Yeah, I would assume. I agree. It's kind of the weakest part. I would think the last few seasons, but I think they're just kind of sprinkling enough because I would imagine, like you said, there'll be a payoff later as far as at least. I mean, Mark's a part of the team, I guess, again, because Immortal doesn't trust him. But so I'm sure that's why they're kind of keeping them around in the background so it doesn't feel as jarring when he does go back to do a fight with the Guardians, whatever. Him and Immortal fight probably. He's that already. But
Different universe.
well, right, but also at the end of that same episode, he's like, I don't trust
True.
So I don't know. I still feel like they kind of teased it, but
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Maybe Immortal helps him later. The false.
Maybe.
But yeah. What did you guys think of episode 3 of Invincible season 2? We're really loving this season, so bet your ass will be here again next week. Despite the holiday week, we will be here for episode 4.
I'm not doing anything.
Well, I'll be. Nah, we'll be here. Might just be a little late. Might be a little tardy, you know? But until next time, we appreciate you guys. KP, where can the people find ya?
Always on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at Politis K. And for my other socials, Kev M. Politis. And I do a stream every Tuesday and Thursday right now at twitch.tv, KevinNation_. Jay, where are you at? Where are you at again?
Hell yeah, brother. I am on Twitter, aka X, gon' give it to you, at Jsib20. And I also stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays at twitch.tv/Jsib20. So next time, I had a stroke. So until next time, people, take it easy. See ya later. Oh, and eat a bunch of fucking food.